All right, guys, welcome back Insidethepodwlou. Like we start every podcast with a Bible verse, and today's verse led me to Romans 12:2, and the Word of God states, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." Romans 12:2. And with that being said, I'm with
Tess Amundsen.
All right, so I know that you are a professional basketball player,
Yes.
right? And why don't you kind of break down your little journey of how that started? Kind of let us know how you got into basketball.
My dad is a coach, a basketball coach. He's pretty well known, Tim Amundsen. He coaches over at Bullard High School right now. My uncle also coaches. He's at Clovis North. My cousins played for him at North as well. My younger cousin, he just went to Dartmouth. My little sister just went to Fresno State. My older sister played for Fresno State, and I could go on and on. My whole family is full of hoopers.
Yeah, podcast for sure.
My dad has another brother over in Arizona who's also a coach, so all three brothers are. So I think I was kind of born to do it. Journey was kind of crazy. I moved around to different schools because wherever my dad was coaching is kind of where we followed. And then I don't know. From there, I kind of fell in love with it around like 7th grade.
Okay.
I wasn't too into it. It was really hard. My size, trying to grow into my body and things like that. But yeah, I was at Clovis North actually for my first 2 years, and then I transferred over to Clovis West, and I'm very thankful I did. I had a rough time at North, but for my own reasons, I moved to West and then had to sit out the 365 rule. And then I got to play my senior year for Coach Campbell, and we won the state championship that year in the open division.
Oh, wow.
We had an incredible team full of Division I players, and yeah, we got to take it there. So I think just following, what I love to do and working super hard, I got to do what I wanted to do, and then I got my offer from Boise State, and I took it. I ended up transferring to CSUN 2 years later and played out 4 more years there because of COVID, and I had to redshirt. So a lot of basketball, a lot of years, and I was a little bit nervous of how overseas would be, but it's been my dream forever. So I don't know. I just buckled down. I got a great connection. I have a wonderful agent. He takes care of me, and I love it. And yeah, my first year was in Sweden, and then I went to Puerto Rico and then Montenegro, and now I'm going to go back to Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So then you obviously, 7th grade,
yeah.
Right? You kind of go, you said you followed Dad, and Dad was a coach now at Bullard. So how long has Dad been at Bullard now?
Oh, my gosh. I wish I could count. I have no concept of time when it comes to that.
No, you're good.
I think he's been there for at least 6 years.
And so when you were playing, though, in high school, Dad was a coach in high school yet? Or no?
He
yet?
was coaching high school, yeah.
And you decided that you were not going to play for Dad, or just...
No, he coaches the boys, so...
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
No, you're good.
So he was over at Clovis East, which he has quite a few championships over there. He did a great job, and then they moved over to Central.
Okay.
And that was just for him. So me and my sister decided to go to Clovis North at that point because of where we lived.
Got it.
And he took my brother over to Central because he could coach my brother.
Yeah.
It'd be different if we were playing for my dad. We probably would have went there too.
Oh, no, for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of like, it kind of confused me a little bit.
I know.
No, I got you. No, you're good.
No, yeah. So we're kind of all over the place, but just because of where we lived, it made more sense for us to go to.
So you did
that
go to
school.
college then initially. You went to, you said...
I went to Clovis West.
Clovis West. No, you're good.
And then out of there, I went
State
straight
championship
to
senior year.
Yes, state championship. And then I went to Boise State.
Boise State, okay.
Yeah.
And you did 2 years there.
Yes, won 2 championships there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then they're in the same division as Fresno State, right?
Yes.
So it was a Mountain West championships?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you went from there, you said you transferred to...
Cal State Northridge, CSUN.
Cal State Northridge. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Because you said, that's what you said the first time.
CSUN. I know it's so normal. Everybody calls it that. But yeah,
so
over in
CSUN
LA.
out there is Cal
State Northridge.
Cal State Northridge.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And you said 4 years because COVID.
Yeah, so initially when I transferred, I had to sit out for my redshirt year.
Okay.
And then the next year we opted out because of COVID. So
Got
then I
it.
had 2
And
years
then
of
you did your 2
eligibility.
years. Okay. And then from there, you were like, you pretty much went into... So I'm generally asking because I want us to understand this, right?
Yeah.
So then WNBA was the draft came. You probably, I'm assuming, didn't get drafted.
No, yeah.
And then from there, you said you had an agent. So did you hire the agent prior, and then that's when you went to your first year, which was in Puerto Rico, I believe?
Yeah, it was in Sweden.
Sweden,
okay.
Yeah. So you went to Sweden. Did you? How did that happen? Like, did you have to try out? Did you get a phone call? Did you?
No, I had my agent. He basically takes care of all of that. So he does all the work for me, which is like really, really easy on the mind because I don't have to worry about anything except for my performance.
Got it.
So basically, it's like a very hard and interesting process because you kind of just don't know. You could sign last minute. You could not sign for a season.
Yeah.
You could sign super early because someone wants you. It just depends. So basically, my agent does all of that background work, finds teams that are interested or need a player like me, and he works on negotiations for contracts and things like that. And then, yeah, you go from there.
So and so I'm just generally, this is like so interesting to me now. So
Yeah.
so when you graduated from college, so when you went you didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
Did the agent reach out to you then? It was like, hey, are you looking for representation? Or?
Actually, from an older, so one of my people on the coaching staff, she hooked me up with someone, like an old friend of hers from college who is an agent.
Got it.
His name's Oliver. He is awesome. He's a great human being. Super happy to have been paired up with him. Basically, you kind of can go out and search for an agent. Like, there's tons of people on Instagram and different social media platforms that you can kind of reach out to as a player, as long as you have film and your stats and things like that. You can pretty much reach out and see if they're taking clients, and then you literally go from there. So my old coach had reached out to him, and basically he called me, and I like almost instantly knew like, oh, he's gonna take care of me. Like, he was like, I wouldn't send you anywhere. I wouldn't send my own daughter and things like that. And that's what I was looking for, especially for my first couple of years, because I've never traveled overseas. I've never done any of that. You just don't know.
For sure.
And he knew exactly who I was as a player. Like, he did his research. I felt very comfortable. I was very happy with it. And so, yeah, I signed with him. So we have our thing going on, and he just helps me throughout my entire process. And that's it. Yeah.
Well, you touched on something that I want to kind of bring up now. So
Go for it.
You said that your type of player, the type of player you are. So why don't you explain to us, what kind of player are you, Tess?
I'd say I'm a very versatile player, like point blank period. I have a lot of size to me. I played a lot of 4 and 5 in college, so I have a lot of inside skill, but my real bread and butter is my shooting.
Okay. Are you a perimeter shooter or are you a 3-point shooter?
Yeah, 3-point. Well, I can just shoot the ball.
Oh, in general, you're just a shooter. Okay.
But I'm known for my 3-point percentages.
There you go.
My junior year of college, I actually got the NCAA Division I statistical champion for 3-point percentage at about 48. I can't remember the exact percentage, but like I shot 48 and 49% from the three for those last 2 years of college, which is insane.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
get
like
as
one
much
every 2 shots you're making it.
Yeah. Again, I'm not like super ball handler, can shoot like, off the dribble like Curry, but if I have the ball and I'm open, it's probably going in.
For sure.
So I think that's like the most attractive part of my game. It stretches the floor, but I can also play inside. I can guard bigs. I'm still learning to guard guards. I think I've done a lot better. I've lost a ton of weight since I started playing overseas, so I can move a lot better now. And I've been working on my ball skills because when I'm on the court, I notice that as I am recruited as a 4, like a stretch or a power forward.
Okay.
But then it gets to a point where the mismatch, they'll put guards on me. So I have to learn more guard skills, So that's been my dedication the past 2 years, is just kind of working on those guard skills so that I can play against both.
When you say guard skills, though, and is it more like a speed thing? Is it more like, because bigs play inside, right? So you got to use your body. Is it more like the fact that you played 4 and 5 all the way in and you say I have to adjust as guard skills is something that's speed, or how do you feel?
A little bit speed, yeah. I think
or is it just different style?
Different style. Like, I think you can still play slow.
Okay.
But have, the ball on the string.
Yeah.
I know a few people, like, you think of Luka, like, he's not fast at all, but you can't guard him. Like, he has that ball on a string. My brother, actually, he trains me a lot. He is very slow, but very crafty, like, has the ball on a string. Like, so kind of just learning how to balance both while still improving on those skills is kind of what I've been working on lately. It's been really uncomfortable because, you know, switching from a 4 to a 3 to a 2 and then having to guard a 5. And it's been interesting, but I think that's what makes me so powerful as a player. I can kind of just do what a coach needs me to do, what
For sure.
I'm willing to do, you know?
You can kind of be plugged and played in different positions, different scenarios. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So then, okay, first year in Sweden, break that down to us. How was that?
Oh, it was interesting. It being my first year, I didn't really know what to expect. It's so cold there. Okay. It's literally frozen ground the whole time I'm there. I don't know, like we have one practice a day, so a lot of time during the day, one game a week. So it can drag sometimes, and it's really hard. Oh, I don't know. Normally. It didn't feel like that many. It just felt like a very long season. I'm sorry.
I'm going to ask you questions because I literally don't know, and I'm genuinely interested. It's like this is really cool. Like
no, it's okay.
Like I'm learning with the audience, and I'm going to ask you questions like a fan. You know?
Yeah, thank you.
Because it's cool, and I really do want to know. Yeah. Maybe one day when hopefully, you know, Lord, at God's timing and we get big enough, we can go watch you in Puerto Rico, Sweden. You know, I mean, that's kind of cool. I've never even really got out of California.
No, yeah, you should. I highly recommend. After traveling lately, I think everyone should get out of here at least twice in their life.
Yeah.
It is a whole different scene over there. Like, yeah. Sweden, you can just tell things are run differently.
Okay.
But Sweden is a very beautiful place. It's very
just cold.
Very cold. Okay. The summers I hear are very beautiful though, because when I was there at the beginning, I kind of got a glimpse of that, but it was cold almost instantly.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So what is the season like over there? 'Cause I know that you're leaving next week.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so if it's August, so when does season start over there? Are you going to go into training camp or how is it
No,
work?
so Puerto Rico is a different season. Okay. So they only go from August to about mid-October. So it's one of the shorter ones. So another one like that is Australia or Mexico, which is the summertime. It's another 3-month. Both of them are like 3 to 4 months long. I think Australia might be a little bit longer, but no, Puerto Rico is a very short season. It's very intense with a lot of very good players. I know I'm saying very a lot, but it's a great experience there. So it's almost like 2 to 3 games a week. So not a lot of practice, but a whole lot of action. So that's why I really like it because, I mean, who doesn't want to play games all the time, you know? Sure. I saw like a lot of new players coming in. They're like American recruits and things, and I'm really excited to play against that competition. So, yeah, again, short season. Sweden is more like a 10-month long one, and so was my last gig at Montenegro. I was there for about 9 months, but I came pretty late. I would have been there for like 10 or 11. Yeah. So it just depends on which one.
And so Sweden is a 10-month gig. You play once a week, right? Practices once, pretty much weekly one practice a day. And then you said that it's a lot of time. So are you staying like with the team? Do you have to get your own housing out there? Like how does it work when you're
normally the teams provide you with housing. Okay. I think it depends on where you go. In Sweden, I was blessed. I had my own apartment. My other American teammate, she lived in the same apartment building. She had her own spot. So like me and her would just go explore and have fun, you know, explore Sweden. We wanted to try and see new things and stuff. Yeah, and now she's over in Australia. She's doing a great job. It's fun because I make all these new connections and things. Yeah, it depends. So, like, I've had shared housing where, like, I've had almost 7 of my teammates in the same, like, house. We all have our own rooms, things like that. I've had my own apartment. I've had another shared apartment. And then I think I'm actually rooming with one of my old friends from Puerto Rico, so I'm excited coming up, yeah.
Okay, so that's year 1, Sweden. Year 2, where were you year 2?
Well, technically, so I went from Sweden to Puerto Rico.
Okay, so Puerto Rico. Yeah. Where you're going to go now. So you kind of have a little of experience. Obviously, you liked it since you're returning. Yes. So break down Puerto Rico to us. Like, what's that like? 'Cause obviously,
it's so fun there. I mean, you hear people wanting to travel there for fun.
Yeah.
So just imagine playing the sport you love and just living right by the beach. You know what I mean? Like, also, it was really the people there. Like, it's really hard. They don't really tell you a lot about how hard it is overseas.
Yeah, no, tell us. Let us know.
No, it's really difficult. So it being a shorter season makes it a little bit easier. You know, you can come home sooner. But in Puerto Rico, like, the people there are so warm and inviting, and they want you to come and do things and try their food and dance and all kinds of stuff. So I just really felt warm, welcome, and excited to be there. And the fan base there is insane. They're so amazing there. Like, you feel very welcome and I don't know. I have a lot of gratitude because I've met a lot of fans and got to, give back to the community and help other kids with basketball. There's just a lot of opportunities, but in general, the culture there was my favorite.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to ask you one more time, back to Sweden real fast.
No worries, yeah.
So were you play in an arena? Where do you guys play at? Because I know it's once a week, but
yeah.
And then we're going to jump back into Puerto Rico.
No worries.
So Sweden give us an example of like what is that like as far as the games go? Are you in a gym? Are you in an arena? I mean, is it like you said? How's the crowd there compared to like I guess, even American? Like where you're Boise or
It depends.
Yeah. No, like I said, I'm generally asking because I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited because I'm a basketball guy.
Yeah. It's just different. So in Sweden, technically I played for a club.
Okay.
It's different. So like our gym was connected to like a recreational center.
Okay.
For the public, that's why we could only get one time slot for practice a day. They would try to get us gym time and do all these things.
But it's all managed. Okay.
Yeah. So there's not as many gyms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So getting that time was like really beneficial for us. But like there are other places where we traveled in Sweden to play those other teams. Like they have bigger arenas, and some other people have gyms just like us. Although it's very large. It's not small.
Okay.
It's like, on average, Clovis North basketball gym?
I don't.
It's pretty big.
But okay.
It's like kind of like that often. In Sweden, more towards playoffs is when we had a bigger crowd. Obviously, they want to see us keep going and win and do these things. So it was very, I don't know, they're very supportive there. We have very loyal fans. So like a lot of people would come often. There's always fans.
You said travel. So, like, when you travel, I'm trying to give us an idea, right?
Yeah.
So, are you traveling, like, is the travel far?
Sometimes, yeah.
So.
Sometimes plane, sometimes 6 hours on a bus or in vans or.
So, it's a good amount of travel then.
Yes.
Okay.
Not everywhere. But, yeah. So, basically, it just depends. It could be a 20-minute drive this way. It could be a 2-hour flight. It could be 6 hours on the bus. It just depends on what they're providing. Yeah.
Okay. And then Puerto Rico is completely different then.
Completely
so obviously
different.
You said three games a week.
Yeah.
And obviously you said you love the fans and you love the culture. So how was that then? So is that like in an arena? Is that more in a stadium? How is that?
It's like
Or a gym, sorry.
Yeah. I actually got pictures of the gym I'm gonna play in. But they're like pretty big gyms, like stadium like, not like huge, but they're very good size.
Not like Save Mart.
No, not that big. Not that big.
But like Clovis North then.
Yeah, like Clovis North.
I don't know it, but I'm
that's
going off of your word.
That's the best example I can give because it's very similar in size to most of the gyms I play in.
Okay. And so just so we're understanding, we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
Sweden's about a 10-month.
Yes.
Puerto Rico's about 2 months.
Yes.
Right?
2-3, yeah.
So then obviously you're kind of going in that way. How does it work? So after the Puerto Rico is going to be over, for example, like you went, so we're in year 2, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to stay here with us, right? So
no, I got
we're in
you.
year 2. So then year 3, where did you play? You mentioned another
Montenegro.
place. Okay, and where's that at?
That's the Balkans area. It's like by, I don't want to misspeak.
You're good.
Like, you know where Greece is?
I have an idea. Yeah.
Okay. It's like Greece and Croatia. And
okay. So it's right in that area.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like across the water is like Italy.
And so was that all part of the places you traveled when you were at this league?
Yeah, so I traveled to like Serbia and Croatia and Montenegro and like all in this area right here.
And that's an 11th month, right?
Yeah, that was.
10-month,
Well, I was there for 9 because I had played in Puerto Rico, which kind of goes past the time of when you would normally go out.
Got
so
it.
like for the 10 to 11 month ones, like most people leave August or September, but I'm in Puerto Rico.
Got it.
So I can get. I literally came home from Puerto Rico for 4 days, packed and left because I got another contract. Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. So I could not go out till after Christmas if I wanted to, really, but it's also a job.
Yeah.
And it's your stability and it's your income and it's all those things. So it's like you got to pick and choose, like, do I need a break? Do I need to keep going? Do I need to come home? All those kinds of things are.
So you could possibly play basketball pretty much 12 months out of the year then.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So,
not ideal.
Yeah, not ideal.
After Puerto Rico, my body was like, oh my goodness, 2 to 3 games, and I was playing about 38 minutes a game. It was rough. Okay. It was a lot on the body, but it's so worth it. It's so fun. Like, that's part of the job, you know?
Okay, so now we're entering year 4, right?
3.
Year 3, I'm sorry.
Technically,
year 3, technically. And we're back to Puerto Rico. We're going to be about a 3-month season, 2-month season?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and then so when you're done with that, do you have any plans? It just depends how you perform, and then it kind of goes from there?
Yeah. Puerto Rico's pretty cutthroat, so if you're, like, not performing, they can be like,
bye. Oh, they'll cut you?
Oh, yeah, they will.
Okay.
I had 2 teammates cut my last time in Puerto Rico. So, yes, I would like to I need to perform, absolutely, 100%, because I like to stay in Puerto Rico. I like it there.
Yeah.
But after that, it depends. Like, because the timing is a little off, sometimes it can throw some things off. But, you know, like God's timing. Something will come. I'm not too worried about it, and I will finish my time in Puerto Rico, and I'll probably find something right after. So
for sure. Since you said God's timing, I didn't say the last one. I've actually, this is my second podcast. I missed saying it, but I'm gonna have to use my favorite Bible verse.
Okay.
Right? So Isaiah 60:22.
Okay.
When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Right?
Absolutely.
So it's all about timing.
Absolutely.
Thank you for throwing that in there. That was a good assist. You are a good player. See? No. So okay. So I'm trying to let it. So. There's still an option for the WNBA, though, right?
It could, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, how does that usually work? Because have you been with players, like, obviously you said Puerto Rico has a lot of talent.
Yeah.
So do players get picked up, like, boom, to an WNBA squad? Or like?
I'm not sure of the history of it, but I do know that they really, in Puerto Rico specifically, look for people who have been to a training camp or are WNBA worthy kind of thing.
Got it.
And I know we have a couple of those kinds of players coming to Puerto Rico, which is great competition for me to play against for my career long term, just to kind of show what I'm capable of. Yes, WNBA is always an option if it's possible, you know, with the amount of teams. Would you say like the
goal for you?
Obviously, it's in the back of my mind, but it's one day at a time for me right now. One contract at a time. I have to get better. I know what I need to work on to kind of get to that level. But again, it's extremely difficult with the amount of teams and player slots there are. Like, it is a very, I could imagine, tough road to travel. And I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. Not saying that I don't have that in the back of my mind, of course, but it just depends. With the expansion, I think a lot more players are going to get the opportunity. So you never know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of cool really to see it and really hear it because, you know, us being from the Central Valley, not a lot of people go overseas, not a lot of people travel, not a lot of people understand this, you know, the agent part, you know, like you've taught me already so much in this podcast that, you know, I would have not known. And I believe that's really awesome because you taking in the fact that you can do either a 10-month program in Sweden, right? You can go to that spot that I don't even want to say right now, but next to Greece, and then you're in Puerto Rico, right? So it's kind of, and then you're doing the thing what you love, right? And then if you're shooting 49% from the 3, I mean, it's only a matter of time before.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's like Caitlin Clark numbers.
I'm efficient.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, again, like there's some things I have to work on. Also, like defensively for me.
You're very humble. I like it.
Thank you. I prefer to let my game speak for itself. You know, like that's just how I am. But I've kept my efficiency very high, and everywhere I played, I've shot about 40%. Everywhere I played from the 3, my other numbers are still pretty. Do
they stream these games, or like are they on TV? So now
mostly YouTube.
So okay, now that we have each other's contacts, you gotta let me know so that
I will.
We could watch you, and then I'll throw a little thing like, hey, we had her on the podcast.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, once again, in God's time. I believe that, He will bless us and we'll be able to do certain things. And Puerto Rico sounds amazing to go watch the competition, right?
It is, yeah.
And then not only that, you could probably tell some of your teammates and then maybe we can get them on the podcast. And
in
general, just spread the, the overseas, women playing. Because I'm pretty sure, I mean, I know you're not great with numbers like you said right now, but give or take, what would you say? How many women are in this league? Like, let's start with Puerto Rico first.
Okay, let's say there's about...
Approximately, because it's not fair for you to give me the exact. Obviously.
Let's just say there's 12 per team, right? Okay. So that would mean there's about... Maybe like.
Well, how many teams is there?
I'm trying to think because I'm playing for an expansion team, a new team.
Okay.
So I don't know how many have been added or have changed cities because my old team changed cities. I want to say ballpark 8.
Okay, so at least about 100 players.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Okay, so 100 players pretty much scattered out the world, right? So all these girls come from.
Well, most of them are natives, so they're Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So they're already from there, yeah. And then they allow, I want to say 3 Americans or foreign recruits. Yeah.
So you're one of the 4 Americans that gets to go?
3 per team. Per team.
Wow. That's so that not everyone really can just kind of sign up. This is something that you gotta see. We did not know that. That's something that you're humble. But you gotta let us know. Like, this is something that's cool because that's very rare, right?
Well, they say like 1% of high school students make it to the Division I, and then another percentage of that even goes on. You know what I mean? Like as a woman too. Like, I know there's a lot of men here in Fresno that are trying to do these things, and they are not saying trying. Yeah, no. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, there's not a lot of women from here or around here that I can relate to, or, in this way, because there's just not a lot of people. I'm kind of walking this road by myself a little bit. Not alone. I have an incredible support system. I just mean having someone who understands, or like even working out with. So I'm working out with the guys, and actually there's the women's elite basketball league I just played in. They've been incredible.
There's a basketball league here in Fresno?
Yeah, they started a women's one. So they have like the men's pro-am, which is really popular, but they started women's elite hoops. So I got to play in that league with my sisters, which was super fun and kept me in shape. And
it's here in Fresno?
Yeah.
And then how long did that go, or when did that start?
That was...
Now we can get women's lead out there. Remember, it's all about pushing.
No, it is, yeah. So me and my older sister played on the same team. My little sister played for a little one, but me and my older sister, we won the thing.
Okay.
But it was super fun, and I met so many people and so many women that love basketball, and it was so refreshing because I've just been working out with the guys and trying to keep up and stay in shape and these things. But to meet other women that love this like I do was like so refreshing.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy they started that league, and it was really fun to go to and watch.
Is the league for adults?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to throw out there. So women's elite here in Fresno.
Women's elite hoops.
Okay.
They have
hoops.
her Instagram.
Okay, I'm at the follow.
Absolutely,
and then we're gonna have
to
push it, and then maybe we could even bring them on.
Yeah, they're doing a lot for women in general in Fresno.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, representation. So it's not just basketball.
Yeah, I mean, well, prior to obviously now that I have a daughter, right? She's 6. I mean, I wanted to definitely make sure I push that out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Kind of going with my faith into the Lord, and then, obviously having a little girl now.
Yes.
I really want to like push women empowering. Like it's really. I've been blessed, right? Because we met actually at my old job, right? I was the manager at Good Guys Tire and Auto, and then one day I see the 1%er walk in, and she needed a tire, right? Yeah. And I was gonna sell you 4. I was ready.
I literally was like, please don't be that person that sells me 4. I cannot do 4 right now.
Because when you told me, I was like, I just try to like read your vibe.
Yeah.
And I was just like, look, check it out. I thought I made a good pitch, right? I was like, I can make this, I can make that.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about it, and then I think the first thing I asked you. That's when you get into sales, right? I was like, hey, you're tall.
Yeah, that's what everybody loves that line.
We kind of went into there, and you're like, oh, I play overseas, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I think I shot my shot.
Yeah. You were like, hey,
you want to come on a podcast?
I got a pod. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, I would love to, and I was like, wait, what? And then it's just kind of like, I was like, what about those 4 tires though? And then you're like, I'm just kidding.
1 tire.
No, but you ended up getting 1 tire. We met at Good Guys, right? And then you went from there, and see on God's timing, because that was like a little over a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And then, but it all worked out.
Absolutely.
Right. And then next week you're doing for Puerto Rico. And then now you definitely always gonna have a fan inside the Powaloo. Right?
I appreciate it.
And as we grow, hopefully we see you grow. And like you said, 49%, guys. If she's shooting like that, it's only a matter of time. Right.
Yeah. Well, we're at 40 right now. I gotta bump it back up. It's okay.
But I'm just you're humble. I gotta talk for you now. Right. No, so that's good though. I mean, I felt like I was a good shooter, and I think I was like 29%, 30. I'm just kidding, but I was okay. It wasn't that bad. Let's see. So what else about like the journey, or I guess you should say that's something that you want to like discuss that we kind of don't know, because remember, this is more of like an informative podcast.
Absolutely,
Like let us know, because we can sit here and talk. Obviously, like you said, hoops. We understand about college ball, and I think as Americans, we really just know more like college, pros. There's little leagues here, but you breaking it down to see it. I mean, even being out there, did you see a lot of like, obviously not just women, did you see a lot of like men's leagues out there too? Or?
Yes, tons. Yeah, I've gone to a ton of games, men's and women's.
Is there a lot of like past NBA, WNBA people that are in these leagues, or it was just kind of? I know you're not that good with.
Not that I know of. I'm so.
And that's what I was like. You told me you weren't, so I was like, yeah.
I like pay attention, but it's a lot that I've seen because of the leagues that I play in. Because there's EuroLeague and then there's Euro Cup, which are like the top in Europe.
Okay.
That's like something you want to play in.
Okay. For
best
women.
in the world, both.
Okay.
EuroLeague men and EuroLeague women are the top in Europe.
Okay. And is that a goal for you one day, maybe?
Oh,
possibly?
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would love to play against them, and I would love to play in that kind of environment. In that, mostly it's hard because you kind of like, oh, I had this goal of going overseas, and I had no idea what was coming next. So I had to like really sit down and like reassess and kind of understand where I'm going because I'm trying to navigate, but I have no direction right now. And so I sat down and like wrote some goals and kind of studied what European basketball is and what it means and where you should or shouldn't go, you know what I mean? So EuroLeague and Euro Cup would always be kind of in my radar. I would love to play at that level. It'd be really good for me in my career and my goals and kind of just proving to myself why I'm working so hard. Not to say that I'm not very content with where I'm at right now because I think I'm doing a great job. But yeah, I think there are a ton of really great players in those spaces. Not to say that these players aren't great. It's a lot of big school, big name people. In the leagues that I've played in, you can see like people coming from, I don't know, like Duke and Baylor. You know, they're like big name, great players.
Yeah.
And so it's fun because I come from CSUN. Like people don't know CSUN like that. But all of it's a great opportunity. So you're going to see big names. You're going to see people coming from a D2 and a D1. So, like, one message for sure is it doesn't matter what level you played at. Like, you are more than capable of going overseas. And if you think you can't, I encourage you to try. So, like, there's some people that played at the highest levels of Division I and just don't want to do it. So there's an opportunity for someone else to step in because they love the game and they can still produce and give to teams what they need. You know what I mean? So I've seen players from all levels, all names, all everything play overseas, and that's what I think is the most fun part to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then do you ever feel like you're going to follow Dad's footsteps one day?
Oh, I'm coaching.
For sure.
100%. Like, no doubt about it. That's all I want to do. I can't, like, I'm playing to become the best coach now. Like, that's how I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then are you going to come back to the Valley and give the love to the Valley, or are you going to stay?
I would love to, but I want to coach college.
Okay.
I don't want to coach high school. It's just not my preference, although I'm not opposed to it. I just think that with my communication style and my experience, I think that it would be great in that space.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of communication, right? I think I can, now that I started following you on socials, I'm going to ask you a quick question. And so this podcast, like at the end of the day, we do try to put, give the glory to God for sure. What's your relationship like with the Lord?
Found, lost, and found again. So I had, when I was really young, I met a friend and she introduced me to that life. And I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. I gave my heart to Jesus. And then I kind of fell out of it. I was having like a rough time for a certain period of my life. And then I found him again when I was over at Boise because I was lacking guidance and I was trying to find it again. And I found this wonderful church out there and helped me get back on track. And then I kind of fall out. It's a lack of discipline. It has to do with everything. And then I'm kind of back in that space where I sometimes don't know how to just surrender. And so I found it again, and I'm back in my reading, and I post Bible quotes or prayers almost every day now.
Yeah, I see
because I think it's important to kind of just, like you said, reassess each day. What are my goals? What's my intention for the day? Can I surrender my control? You don't have to work out 7 times a day. Surrender. You're already on the right path. You're doing the right things. You know what I mean? So, like, finding that balance making sure that I'm staying disciplined. And that's why I do it every day, because not only am I posting it to share, I'm posting it so that I know that I'm reading every day. I have a lot to learn still, and I'm still thankful for it. But mostly it's a lot of gratitude for my journey and that I get to realign myself each day. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
God is so good.
Yeah.
Because look at that Bible verse I said today.
Yeah.
Romans 12:2.
Absolutely.
Renewing the mind.
I didn't even try to play off that either. It kind of just made sense. So
Well, it's kind of, okay, so I'm not trying to get all like, once again, I didn't find God. I didn't grow up in a church.
Yeah.
Right?
Me either.
I never was that guy, that Christian. I always tell people I'm a unique type of Christian, unique type of person, because the fact of my journey's been so different. But it's kind of crazy because like even right now in the moment, like I could feel like the Lord saying like, all right, tell her what's her relationship like.
Yeah.
And so it's like now that, and it was kind of perfect because you're breaking it down.
Yeah.
And you're Romans 12:2ing it without even really realizing you're doing it.
As soon as I said it, I was like, oh my gosh, the Bible quote for today.
And that's all the Lord. Like, it's kind of crazy because like as I came in, like I was like, okay, I had two podcasts today, right? So I was thinking, I'll go off the Bible app and whatever the Bible app verse is, depending on, and I read today's was John 3:17. So I was like, oh, I'm going to read that one. So that was the first one. And I was going to read Romans 12:2 on the first one. But then for some reason it was like, no. Romans 12:2 is going to be for Tess.
Something called you,
and that's the Lord, because when two or more are gathered, even though we got Matt here, so it's three of us, right?
Yeah.
We are technically in fellowship, right? The Lord is with us, the Holy Spirit's here. And I could generally feel it, and I can feel it on you, and just want to let you know, like, the Lord is definitely with you. He has his hand on your life.
Thank you.
And don't forget, like, when we fall, and it's not for us not to go back. That's the enemy. Like, Jesus wants to welcome us back, right? All the time with open arms. And I just felt like you're doing a great job. It's something that he's putting on my spirit right now to let you know, and just continue to do it. And like, you're doing it every day. It's we pick up our cross and it's one step at a time. Like
Absolutely, yeah.
And I could feel it on you. And it's like, I really feel like, honestly, not just saying it to say it because you're on the podcast, like, you are going to have a fan of me for sure.
Thank you so much. I
really am going to try to follow you the best that I can. I believe there's going to be great things for you. I believe you're going to be, you're already humble now, right? You're talking about, I need to work on this, I need to work on that. I
actually spoke to God about my humbleness, because sometimes, like, when I see these men going after it on the court, right? Like, that's kind of my attitude.
Okay.
These women don't want to do that until I'm in a specific space. When I'm playing overseas, it gets crazy, okay? But I'm like, I need to let that beast loose a little bit, you know? And I had a conversation with him. So we're working on it. Although it's good to be humble.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can tell you right now, arrogance, prior to me getting to know the Lord, like, I'm pretty sure people would tell you, like, oh, yeah, he's very arrogant, you know? And I could feel it sometimes come back. Like, the other day I was trying to explain to my son about confidence, right, compared to arrogance. And sometimes I got to be like, you just got to know it's going to happen. Yeah. You just got to, like, push this, push that. I'll give an example, right? So I'm from Mendota, but I live in Faribault. So Josh Allen, right, the quarterback, right? So they started doing the Hard Knocks for Buffalo Bills. So me and my wife put it on, and then I did a little video of it, and then I had put on there, like, I'm gonna manifest it. Josh Allen's gonna come on this podcast one day, and then I looked at it and I told my wife, I was like, does this sound cocky? Does this sound arrogant? And then I told my boy's very humble. Yeah. He's not like that at all. He thinks, has a kind heart. And I go, does this sound arrogant? And he's like, I don't think so. You're just trying to manifest it.
You have to know in order to do so.
And so I meant it. So when people out there, when they see this podcast on the road, I didn't mean it like in an arrogant way. I just meant like, no, we're going to manifest that. We're going to get that big one day. But at the same time, we want to remain humble and continue to bring on every athlete in the valley, right? Continue to the small businesses, everybody that's still growing. Because anybody could eventually be a Tess. They could eventually be an Insidethepodwlou. They could eventually be a Josh Allen. They could eventually be whatever they want to be, like you said. If you truly believe in it, the biggest thing that you said is discipline. If you have that discipline and obedience in time, God's timing, right? It'll all kind of formulate the way it's supposed to.
Absolutely.
We kind of, like, I'm going to be honest, like, when I stepped out and did this leap of faith, I don't have no sponsors right now. I don't have no money coming in. I don't have nothing going on. And the other day I started, like, trying to work out more to kind of get my mind right, my body right.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, like, I fall too. I mean, we all do, right? We're human. So my biggest thing, I used to love to, smoke marijuana, right? And I just loved it. And I loved the way I felt in my flesh with it. And as I felt, it's kind of wild, like, my story about it, because I got a real bad case of food poisoning.
Ooh.
And so when I was kind of going through, like, I've kind of tried to stop everything as I went, right? And I could feel like, and I'm talking like bad, like 4 days of like just nonstop.
That's the worst.
And I told the Lord, I was like, like if this has to happen, like it has to happen. I still give you the glory. Like, and then and like I said, I don't hear the voice, but I could feel it in like my spirit. Like, well, how would you know what got you food poisoning when you smoke and eat everything? And gluttony is like a big thing in the Bible, right? So he's letting me know like, you can't smoke, and this is why. And so as it kind of like transpired, right? I could feel it. It's been about a month now, and my mind has been so clear. And it's not that I don't hear God's voice though. I want people to understand this. Like
you feel it.
I can feel it though. It's a daily walk, right? So as I went on my walk the other day, I told the Lord, because I can go back right now to good guys. I can go be a correction officer. I can go do something, right? And I know I can make money, and I know I need you to support your family. But I was on my walk, and I told the Lord, I'm angry. Like I don't know what I'm doing. And I look crazy to people. Like people are looking at me like, bro, are you gonna take a leap of faith, take a walk, and you don't even have this or that? And I felt the Lord put it in my spirit right away. I had to repent immediately and thank Him for everything He's done for me. Right? Back to gratitude.
I'm big on gratitude.
And so then it was like for Him, like I felt Him telling me like, it's not for you to know. Faith is not for you to know.
Well, it's like the same thing as saying I'm confident in myself. Because if you're confident in Him, you're confident in yourself. Like, you just have to kind of trust that the decisions and the free will that you are allowed is going to guide you right to where you need to be. And I think that's a big thing that I learned, because confidence has always been an issue. I'm a girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to be perfect. You want to look a certain way. You want to act a certain way. And kind of just finding that confidence within my discipline, especially because you fall back to the level of that you're prepared. All this big boost of confidence came, and a lot of things started going my way. And I'm like, oh, no wonder. You know what I mean? Have a little bit of discipline and self-respect, and things start to happen. So I can see that. Like, just trust it.
I can see it in you too. It's like, wow. So would you say, like, obviously, like everybody, right? The relationship kind of goes off and on, and I get that, right? And I really want people to understand this when they see this podcast, that's not that it's normal, but it's normal. You're gonna fall. Yeah. And I think the thing is, when we fall as believers, is that to get back up and go to God. Like, He's not the one that's gonna judge you. That's the enemy trying to tell you, like, oh, well, you did this and you did that, and pointing out everything that we did wrong. But you go back to the Lord, and like eventually you find that peace. Yeah. Because He'll give it to you. But when you know you're generally like truly walking, right, and trying to do your best in your heart. That's why I always try to tell people, like, it's not about religion, it's about relationship, right?
Your relationship has nothing to do with anyone else's relationship with Him. Although you should be sharing and you should be, gathering and having conversations about it. My relationship with God has nothing to do with anyone else, and I know that. That's why I'm pretty private about it, other than, like my daily postings and stuff, because
for sure.
I'm very particular about my journey, and I know what I'm supposed to get out of it and what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know that I lack discipline. So just finding that on my own was the most important thing to me. I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care what anyone says about me. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me and what I'm doing. So I don't know, just like making sure that you're not thinking about what other people are doing or what they're thinking, and it's just not important as the relationship itself. So
that is so true. I liked how you said that, because I feel like when I was worldly, I always cared about what people thought, and then it's like when I really needed, Jesus at the time, when I was kind of going through my difficulties, it really, He reminded me, like, well, okay, where's those opinions now? Are those opinions going to help you in your situation or no? So what does it matter?
It doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah, and so I like that, because when you generally are walking, like I could feel like we're both. I could feel your story, and I don't know if you could feel mine, but it's kind of like, and it's kind of that's how good God is. And I feel like I pray on every podcast, and I remember I know I hit you up, and you probably thought like, oh, maybe it's not gonna happen. I don't know if you did feel that way or didn't feel that way.
Either way.
I was like, you know what? I really did want to make sure. So I was like, when are you going? And you're like, August 12th. So I was like, okay, we got to make it happen.
Yeah,
and now I understand why. And then even today's Bible verse is kind of like, it kind of gave me chills a little bit. Because I was like, wow, like when you were breaking it down, that's literally Romans 12:2.
Yeah.
And as I'm kind of like, and it's kind of been wild for me lately, because I don't feel like once again, I didn't grow up in a church. I don't know scripture verbatim. I don't know it the best. But it's kind of wild, because lately when I've been talking to people, God gives me like, hey, okay, tell them this. Or explain this. Like, so the other day I was explaining to a cousin of mine called me, and she was very upset, right? And then I tried to explain to her, like, well, you're showing the anger that people, that, oh, same old, you, right? And so I was like, honestly, when you get like that, think of Exodus, right? When Moses was trying to bring the Israelites out of slavery, but when they were going into the wilderness, they didn't know what was going on, so they started getting upset with God, and they wanted to go back to slavery. So I explained to her, like, you're going back to anger.
Yeah.
Like, you already know what that version brings out of you. You already know who people think, and all you're doing is making everyone, oh, same old, this person. So I was like, I think, like, on my walk, it's more like gratitude. Okay, Lord, thank you for doing this for me. Okay, I don't understand this, but I'm gonna. And so lately, like, Matthew chapter 5 has really been really big on my heart, because it's more about, like, learning to pray for your enemies, and pray for this, and understand this, and so it's just kind of been, like I said, not that I'm trying to be all like a holy roller, but if you do know scripture, if you do know scripture down the road, it truly helps you, like, go through what you're struggling with, right? And I feel like, kind of on your journey now, I feel like you're going to be a blessing to so many of your teammates, because a lot of people don't, like I said, it's the way we approach it, right? We don't want to necessarily shove it.
No, but I think there's a digestible form. Like, not everybody, not a lot of people believe in prayer in different forms. Like, gratitude itself is something you don't have to deem so religious, or, just being thankful for the small things that you have daily, like waking up, the sun, the weather is good today, like, just
having
being
food.
able to, absolutely, just being able to, like, communicate to people that doesn't make it feel like that. I 100% agree, because I used, that's how I kind of fell out of it the first time, is like, ooh, like, this feels very forced, like, I wanted to find this on my own, which is another reason why I've taken such a private,
for sure,
route, because, again, my relationship is not for anyone else. And so I think it's important to, like, have these conversations with people that are comfortable. Like, if you really want to get deep into scripture, you can do that, but, like, read the room a little bit,
Exactly.
Or give it to people in a more digestible form. So, like, my prayers daily, or my gratitude, I do lists of gratitude at least every other day, not every day.
You write it down?
Absolutely.
Okay. You feel that helps?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a big journaler. I love journaling. Get your feelings and thoughts out. Write gratitude. Write about when you're angry. Write your goals down. I think having it tangible is the best thing for you. I learned that overseas because I was super alone. But no, I think that there's different ways to communicate the path. And I think that, like how you said, I can't hear him, but I feel him. It's like, it's almost as saying your path, right? You have free will. You can go this way, you can go that way, but ultimately it's going to be back here and straight. And you can think about that as God, as we do, because this is our path. It's already written. Or you can just think about trusting and surrendering what's happening right in front of you. You know what I mean? Just like finding that digestible content or the words that people just need to hear, and maybe it guides them there, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, I like having those kinds of conversations, because to me they're important. That's what's helped me in my life. So
yeah, no, for sure. I really want to thank you for sharing, because I know obviously being and it's kind of wild, because I've always been a private person, and then so, like, when I kind of, I guess you can say, when I kind of came out on social media, I'm telling stories about my walk, and they're very personal, right?
Yeah.
People are like, wow, man, you have a lot of, just to say that, it's like, and it's honestly, like I told you, like, I can care less of what people think about me now, because I really want people to understand, like, the Lord is real. And it's like everything, like you said, though, it's our time, our relationship. Just because we come on and I can talk about it on a camera and I'm comfortable doing it, doesn't mean that you're going to be, or the person's going to be, right? It's all about, once again, Isaiah 60:22, and there's little things, and it's all about timing. And so I think once we find our purpose, like, I could tell basketball is your purpose.
Oh, yeah.
And I could feel the coach in you. Yeah. Because, like I said, when you're talking about the things you talked about, I was like, man, she already sounds like a coach. I'm very
into mentorship and leadership, and helping people become the best version of themselves. That's why I want to coach, and I think that's why I started playing basketball. Like, not that I knew then, but I could transform into this person that can help all these wonderful people trying to just become adults, or I don't know. I'm really, it brings me joy to see other people find what they need to find in life. And I'm excited that I can do that through coaching.
Yeah, because coaching is not as easy as people think.
No.
Because, I mean, you could have all the skill in the world, right? You could be the best player or whatever, best at what you do. But to get what you have in your brain out to people, it's not as easy. You know?
It's culture, it's relationships, it's knowing when to draw the line, knowing how to motivate, knowing what doesn't motivate. Like, there's so many things, the X's and O's, the actual chess match, the things that go into it, the film, the studying, the time it takes and the time away from your people it takes. Like, it's an incredibly demanding job at any level. And
that's what I want to ask you. What's the difference between, you know, coaching here in America and then overseas? Is there a big difference?
Like, coaching styles?
Styles, I mean,
it's
just
a lot
based
more
off your
laid
experience, right? Because you've had 3 years now, but you've been in 3 different areas, right? So have you noticed the difference in coaching? Or?
Yeah. What I've noticed just from a player's perspective is that
sure.
You're expected to play at a specific level, so it's a lot more laid back overseas.
Okay.
Yes, they help with X's and O's. They remind you of things. They do the subbing. It's just not the same as the States. Like, here, it's like you are micromanaged. Okay. Every moment of the game, it feels like you're being micromanaged. You have a very specific role. There's not a ton of flexibility. There are unspoken rules, like things you just can't do, can do, whatever. But overseas, they're like, take the ball. I'm like, okay, I can do that. Like, that's fun, you know? And it's given me a much different a very different perspective around basketball in general, because it just depends on who you're dealing with. Like, imagine being a coach in the WNBA or the NBA. You're coaching a bunch of grown women and grown men who have played for years. You know what I mean? So, like, you're there as a coach to reinforce things and help with the chess match, but there's conversation there. There's, hey, I see this on the court. What do you think? It's collaboration. Whereas in the States, I think, is a little bit more micromanagement. So that's, I think, is the biggest difference.
So do you prefer like the overseas version?
Well, yes. I'm older, you know. I like that I can collab with my coaches. I can sit here, hey, I see this. I think this will work. You know what I mean? Especially because I want to coach. Like, of course, I like that.
I was tying that into coaching. So, like, do you see yourself being more of the overseas type and being that kind of coach? Or do you feel like maybe a little bit of both as far as, because...
I would like to say I'd be a laid-back coach, but I'm extremely passionate. Okay. So I know how that can come out sometimes. I would like to be in the States to coach just because that's where I come from. You know what I mean? I do... and hope that I will take a couple coaching positions overseas, because I'm like, why wouldn't I continue to travel and do things, you know what I mean? Yeah. And take those opportunities. But ultimately, I do want to, I love Fresno. This is my home. I want to settle down here. I would love to come back here. That would be amazing. But I think it just depends. I'm just taking it, again, day by day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like I said, this is mainly, like I said, when we look back on this and you become a big-time coach, we're like, hey, look at that. We had her. Yeah. We got to talk about this, because I feel like everything happens for a reason, right? And so you going overseas, you know, being in Puerto Rico the 2 months and the other one 10 months and the other one 11 months. I mean, it's all teaching you, molding you into potentially, you know, what can be an amazing coach, right?
Yeah,
and then
I hope so.
Kind of go from there. Like I said, even like the program, what is it called again? The women's...
Women's Elite Hoops.
Women's Elite Hoops. Yeah. And then so before you leave, we'll definitely have to follow them.
Okay.
And is that ran by, like, who's that ran by?
Doja, my friend. She, I don't know if she's the only one that runs it, but she's, like, the main girl right there.
And so that's more of a league, right?
Yeah, and it's like a rec league. Okay. I participated in their second season. Okay. And so
they're
I'm sure
in year 2, then they're going to year 3?
Yeah, but they did like a season earlier this year, and then they did this summer season. Okay. So I think it's just going to happen when they can schedule and get people out there. So I'm not really sure how many times throughout the year they'll do it, but I think that it will grow a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And so, okay, now pretty much asking, do you have like a favorite, you know, from 7th grade? Let's start from 7th grade. 7th grade Tess, right? Did you have like a favorite athlete that you kind of wanted to mirror? Or even now, do you have? I
get asked this question a lot. Like, genuinely, it was my siblings. Okay. Like, I watched my brothers and my sisters, well, my brother and my sisters and my dads and my uncles and my cousins. Like, genuinely, I was so impressed by my family that, like, like, yes, I have favorite players, but I was so happy to be surrounded by people that just love basketball. Like, it just ended up me trying to copy my brother or, like, copy my older sister. And so, like, I wanted to do what they were doing. I wasn't really thinking about, you know, like, who's on the TV. My dad's a huge Bay Area fan. He's from Newark. Okay. So he's San Francisco, Niners, Giants, Warriors across the board.
He was really a Warriors fan, though, before they got good.
He grew up over there. He is born and raised that way. And so I watched Niners, Warriors, and Giants my whole life. Wasn't super into it, you know, 7th grade, cool, whatever. Of course, like Monte Ellis and Stephen Curry, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be like them, but like not really. Yeah. It was really my siblings. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that when people can kind of genuinely mean that, like that's really cool because most people, like, I grew up in the Jordan era, you know, so like Rodman.
Oh yeah,
you know,
for
Pippen, you know, Jordan, Kukoc, right, Ron Harper, and then not only that, just in general, like I think I went from the Jordan era to the Kobe era. Now we're in LeBron, and we're taking over to the Luka, right? So it's like I've seen all these eras, and I look at it like I think I made an example. Like when I think of someone going out to be tough and getting rebounds, I think of the Worm. I think of Dennis Rodman.
How do you not think of him though? Like that's for sure up there.
Some people think of Draymond now, right? The you know, when I think of like
he's an incredible player. Don't get me wrong,
for sure.
But it just, I mean, it's all perspective.
It's all perspective, and it's like about how you know the game. And I could tell you do know the game, right? Yeah. And so it's like, it's kind of cool to be able to kind of sit back and chime. And now that I'm like getting into the podcasting, like it's kind of cool because I've always talked sports. Yeah. Like, you know, I'm a Giants fan, big time, you know. But I
you should be.
Yeah. But I had to grow up a Raiders fan.
Oh,
because like I know, so the way my
you
uncles
had to grow up a Raiders
because my uncles they were like all Raiders, Raidered out, like you didn't really have a choice, you know, and so I was like, okay, I'm a Raider fan, right? Yeah. And then but baseball, like my grandpa's like, I do not care, you're gonna be a Giants fan, like that's
good choice,
you know. So I ended up being a Giants fan, and then growing up in like the Jordan era, and the Bulls were the Bulls, like I just liked, you know, the Bull and how Jordan was and his shoes, right? So then I just stuck with them. And then we had Derrick Rose, you know, and then we had, you know, who we had. Gem. I know. And I'm hopefully one day we get Derrick Rose on. Right?
Oh my gosh.
He was my favorite player. Like as far as like after, you know, when he was really going, went and watched him in Sacramento, his MVP season.
Oh, that's so nice.
I know. I remember.
I can't wait. I want to go sit courtside somewhere sometime. I have to.
We'll manifest it. It's going to happen.
I want to take my dad to a Warriors game courtside. That's like been a dream of mine because he is literally a diehard and he is a junkie. Like,
really?
He is like, he knows too much. I don't understand sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, like why? He's great at fantasy football. Like he's just a sports junkie. Yeah, he's not just basketball.
We gotta get him on one day, and then we gotta get him on with you one day. So
oh my gosh, that would be fun. Yeah,
or maybe even your sister.
Yeah,
you know, or just the family in general. Yeah, we have to. No, we can.
Everybody's in the basketball.
Because eventually down the road, the goal for me is like I'm turning my garage into Podcast Central. So
I want to make it. Nice.
I want to make it where we can bring on. You know, because like I said, we're definitely going to stick to Valley sports. That doesn't necessarily mean like I think people get this misconception that it's just going to be men. You know, or boys. No,
but that's why I was so excited because I just feel like I'm surrounded by men that have voices, and I've been working so hard in my craft. Like, so it was very refreshing and like so nice to hear someone say, "Hey, I'd love to have you on." You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen very often.
For sure.
So for me, I really appreciate that.
No,
as
course.
A woman.
No, I really appreciate you coming on. And then even telling us your stories. Like I said, this is all new to me.
Yeah.
And you see, I'm like excited. I want to know. I'm asking you questions like a fan because it generally is very interesting to me. And not only that, like I said, now that I have a daughter, I just see women so differently now. You know, and I really want to help push, you know, however I can. You know? And I genuinely mean that. Like I said, I believe when the Lord does bless us, like I'm gonna be blessed, you know, and I want to make sure that I want to not forget, continue to have that gratitude, but mainly to give back. Like everything you touched on when you first came in, that's exactly what I want to do, and I want to give back to the youth and women sports. Like they work just as hard, they shoot right. Everything is just as like the competition's there, and the crazy part is like so one of the guys that I do Bible study with. He's actually a varsity girls basketball coach. Okay. He coaches in Mendota.
Oh, so, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
You do?
I think so.
Junior Reyes?
No, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he coaches in Mendota. That's my guy. Yeah, he runs my Bible study on Wednesdays. Actually, we're having Bible study tonight. Yeah.
I just like know people from a distance. Like,
that's awesome.
If you're in the coaching world, I probably,
And see, so like he does, you know, he believes that God called him,
Mm-hmm.
and he could have easily took on the boys,
Mm-hmm.
but he has these girls, and they're doing something. They're building a program,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, like, it's really cool to see, because as you kind of really get, with your relationship gets closer to the Lord, and you start understanding, you start seeing people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I would have never even thought that you felt that way. I thought it was an honor for me to ask you, because when you told me you were an overseas player,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's
No,
so cool.
yeah.
Because I've never met an overseas player.
Yeah.
And so I always tell myself, like, do you know how many people I met at Good Guys?
Mm.
That was just like, what? Like, I met a lady that works at NASA.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully she'll come on, Mary.
Oh, that's freaking cool.
And so if she gets to come on and she gets to tell us that, right? I met a pilot,
Mm-hmm.
from Southwest.
Okay.
So he's going to come on and talk about what it's like to be a pilot.
See, that's really cool.
And so I want people to understand. And this is all Central Valley talent.
Mm-hmm.
This is all people that live here in the Valley.
Well, I think it's important because you're shining light on people who think that their jobs or things are just
Jobs.
Yeah,
And they're
like
not, yeah.
no, I've dedicated my entire life to this. Blood, sweat, and tears. I've sacrificed birthday parties and weddings and baby showers and friends, for goodness sake, because I'm just not present. Like, I'm gone all the time. Like, it takes
Dedication.
Oh my
True.
gosh, it's infuriating but incredibly rewarding. So it's like to hear that you're like a pilot and someone who works at NASA. Like, that's interesting. That's really cool. Like, people, but they think it's normal. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's important to know
it's
that
not normal.
it's unique.
It's
I don't
very
know.
unique.
I like that.
No, for sure. And I think, like I said, even you breaking it down, I think when people get to see this, like, they'll have a better understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? That's this and that's that. Because even, like, I wanted to kind of touch on, like, your agent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how, like, maybe we could even bring your agent on.
Oh yeah, that is a busy man right there. I hope so.
But, just to kind of
Yeah.
really break it down, because I mean, especially here in the Central Valley, like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't really know about that,
Mm-hmm.
agents, how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think, obviously, he can give us what he can. You're not going to talk
No,
too
yeah.
much. But just, hey, well, one, how did you get in it, right? How'd you do this?
Yeah.
How'd you do that? And kind of from there. And then I think it just gives people a better understanding. And that's what I want to do. I just want to bring light to what you do.
Yeah.
What's your skill set? What's, like I said, Central Valley talent.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's important because I'm getting messages from old teammates that are trying to go overseas now. They have no idea what to do.
okay.
They don't tell you, they don't inform you. Nobody, like, you walk into it so blind. Like, it's nice to have this conversation because I know there's a ton of people that just need to understand.
For sure.
Like me just saying, hey, reach out to somebody on Instagram because you can do that to find an agent. People don't know that. They're just like, oh, I thought that they just come find you. Like,
There you
yes,
go.
there are
Reach
some
out.
people. Yeah. There are some people that seek certain players, of course, but really you can just go out there and say, hey, are you taking clients? Like, I want to play overseas, and that's half the battle. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
getting your foot in the water. That's it.
And see, like, I'm pretty sure that people didn't know that. And that's the beauty
They
of
don't.
this is
Yeah.
that now that you just threw it out there, hey,
Yeah.
this is pretty much half the battle.
Yeah.
The other half is obviously you putting in the work in, the discipline, and doing what you have to do, right? When you kind of went overseas, was like, we talked about food poisoning. So I'm going to just touch on some things. Did you ever, like, how was the food out there? Like, did you ever get sick? Is it better? People say
I
that.
did get sick twice
Really?
in Sweden, actually, but I think that was just... I don't actually know why, but I'm pretty sensitive in the stomach, so
okay.
it depends. Sweden, like, the food was okay. Like, I get
Healthy?
fed. Yeah, I'm telling you, I dropped like 30 pounds in Sweden.
What?
I think the food is just so different overseas. It's real. And I probably could have ate pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day there for the amount of time that I was there, and I still would have dropped the weight. And we're only practicing once a day.
I heard someone say that. I think I was
yeah.
on the podcast. They were like, yeah, that's how bad American food is.
Yes.
Like, he ate this, pasta, all this
Yeah.
stuff. He was like, bro, I lost 15 pounds.
I've lost so much. Like, it's insane. When I went to Montenegro, well, the food in Sweden was like, okay, like, it's interesting because there's, like, the cultural dishes and stuff, but it's like, yeah, I can't even, like, they have, like, little Swedish meatballs, and they eat it with this, like, sauce, this, like, it's almost like cranberry sauce. It's delicious.
Okay. Yeah.
It's actually so good. And I've tried a few things I'll probably never try again, which is kind of part of it because I like to just try things. The food was okay. Not my favorite all the time. There was still, I had my main dishes that I got often. Coffee, incredible.
Sweden coffee is great.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
the Danishes, the all of that, everything was so good. I very much enjoyed that. And I'm such a coffee girl. Puerto Rican food, mwah. Amazing. Right up my alley.
Yeah, I was going to say right now, how's about the food in Puerto Rico?
Well, I mean, I ate like literally a lot of chicken, beans and rice. Oh my gosh, a lot of plantains. Just a lot of good food. Mofongo. Have you ever had mofongo?
No.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
I only left California once.
You have to try that if you go to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And then in Montenegro, food felt like regular, but again, super healthy, fresh. I don't think I touched a vegetable out there for 9 months.
Wow.
It's literally like they eat meat and carbs, and they are some of the fittest people I've ever seen in my life. Like across the whole country, I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, this is just so different.
And then the people out there, you said they're very kind of like they're welcoming. They're very nice.
Montenegro is different.
Okay.
They're not welcoming. They're just like.
Do they look at us like American?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes, like not all the time. If you engage in conversation, they're gonna be,
welcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like, hey, all the time. Yeah. But also in Montenegro, like almost none of my teammates spoke English.
Oh.
So that's different.
Was different.
It's very different. Yeah.
So
in Sweden, they spoke English. In Puerto
there?
Rico, I know a little bit. I know enough Spanish to Spanglish out there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, Montenegro, literally one of my teammates translated for us the entire season.
Oh.
And then 2 of my coaches were just not very good at English.
I never thought about that until you brought that up.
That's why it feels so lonely sometimes. You just don't. It's like I can't even talk to my teammates.
Yeah.
Like
so
a whole lot of
homesick?
Google. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
rough. Yeah.
Your siblings and your parents.
Every
and
day.
Friends.
Mm-hmm. I'd be on the phone for hours. No, yeah. It's really hard. The life part is the hardest part about.
I didn't even think about that. So you said that. That is so like. I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't even think of that language barrier. Mm-hmm. So I mean, even I'm pretty sure the fans too, right? They're probably coming at you and saying things, and you're like,
I have no idea what you're saying.
But do you guys have always a translator on standby?
Some places do that, but no, not really. Like my teammate, she's fluent in English, so she would just translate stuff like in practice and games to make sure that we were like locked in.
Oh, okay.
And like we'd chat with her and stuff just about life. But other than that, no. Like,
and then you won. So now I'm gonna bring back. You won a championship, right?
Yes.
Where did you win that at?
In Montenegro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the WABA League, championship. Yeah.
So it was like for the league you guys won, and then so that would.
We won both of our leagues actually.
Also, there was 2 different.
Yeah,
leagues.
but there's one league that's in Montenegro, and then the WABA League is all the surrounding countries right here.
And so your guys' squad won it all, and then so are you gonna go back to that squad?
No.
No?
No. It's like your contract isn't like multiple years. It's like one season.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you don't want to go back because you didn't like it or just?
No, I just want to see what else there is for me.
No, for sure, yeah.
It's really, I don't recommend signing a 2-year contract because if you don't like it and you have to go back, like that's just really frustrating. But if you love it, you get to go back. You just never know. So I only sign a 1-season contract and then I try to move up.
Yeah,
from there.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because you can get more and more pay if you're performing, or you can go to better leagues or something like that.
That's kind of how, I'm going to kind of tie that into sponsors. Like, I think that's how I want to do it when we do become a sponsored podcast. Like, I want to make sure, 1 year. So that way, if the sponsor feels like maybe we're not living up to par, then they could walk away and there's no bad feelings, vice versa. If I feel like we're overperforming the contract, we could either go back to, to the table and figure out if we're going to.
No, that would be smart. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, I really, really want to thank you for coming on. I feel like we touched on a lot. Is there
my gosh, so many.
Is there anything else that you kind of want to go over? You want to touch on?
No, I think we got to cover a lot.
Like, we did.
I feel like I was just talking.
No. I mean, that's the whole point of a podcast.
No, I know.
That's the whole point of a podcast. And I feel like not only were you talking, but I was listening.
Yeah.
I did not.
I wouldn't be talking if you were.
No, but I'm saying like some people, because even me. Like, I think, so I had I had took almost a month off of podcasting, and it was like, so I didn't, how I talked about the way you feel about basketball. I can tell you like that's how I feel about podcasting because when I got back in, so my home is a little different, right? This is like really professionally set up, right?
Yeah.
And my home it's cool. It's a little studio, but it's not quite like this. It feels a little more welcoming as far as like, at least with me, I feel like I'm myself,
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be honest, today it feels way better because now I'm watching the clock, so it allows me to see where I'm at.
Good.
The first time I was here, I was like, okay, how long we've been talking.
Yeah.
Like, where we've at. Like, did I even touch on this? Did I
You're
touch
like
on
learning
that?
each time.
Yeah, each time you're getting better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt we talked about enough to
Absolutely.
because I definitely want to bring you on again.
Okay.
With this, I said, with your siblings, maybe with pops, right?
That would be fun.
Kind of go from there. And then just touch on how Puerto Rico was, you know? And what I'm trying to do now for every season is I want to like do like a end of the year and bring everyone that came on the podcast together.
Oh, that would be fun.
So you would meet the pilot.
Yeah.
You'd meet NASA, right?
That would be really cool.
Who I just brought on a correction officer, so you just met him today, but you'll meet him, right? And you kind of everyone gets to kind of just talk, go over their experiences, you know, about just in general life. Like we would probably all be around the table looking at you, just talking about because I'm telling you, a lot of us don't. I've never been to. Most people can say Puerto Rico for sure. Never been to, you know, Sweden.
Yeah.
Never been to what was it,
Montenegro.
Yeah, never been there.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like that's really cool and that's really unique. Like you said, back to those words because it's so rare. It is so rare. But no, since we don't have anything else to say, I will definitely end it with the Bible verse, and then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
All right, so like I said, today we brought in, we start every podcast with the Bible verse, and today's verse was Romans 12:2, and the Word of God states, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect." Romans 12:2. And with that being said, thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving us your story, and we look forward to following you and then having you back on again.
Thank you. Thanks so much.